Oh, I just remembered. I owe a bunch of people a lot of money. Oh, I'll get that for you right away, sir.
'Cause I have $30,000 in credit card debt. When they call, I tell them I can't pay it back yet. Credit card debt.
Did we make 2K? Yeah. We did? $2,000. Where am I going to spend all that money? Am I going to service my massive debt? Or maybe I can go to McDonald's and get myself $45 of McDonald's food at one time, which I do often.
Is Dominican monies? What's going on? What's going on in the market? Well, layoffs are coming. I want to say I told you so. Stellantis is starting to dismantle brands. Don't want to say I said that on here. Look, maybe I don't know what I'm doing. Okay, maybe I'm a big idiot, but I don't think you guys believe that. I honestly don't. I don't know what it means when the stock market falls and falls. What people's investment accounts are worth a little bit less.
Numbers go up, numbers go down. Sometimes
numbers go up,
same.
numbers go down, numbers go smiles, and numbers also frown.
Alex's bank account, not particularly affected.
Nothing ever happens either way, right? Not going to care about that. The layoffs is what I would care about, the squeezing, right? So, non-performance from a company, we start firing people start losing their jobs. Never want that. I don't want anybody. But that's probably what's going to have to happen in order for this, for the price of things to come down.
Before the internet, it would be really difficult to find someone, sit them down for 10 minutes and get them to work for you, and then fire them after those 10 minutes. But with technology, you can actually find them, pay them a tiny amount of money, and then get rid of them when you don't need them anymore.
There was a report on ILO saying that on average, the people working on crowdsourcing were paid $3.31 an hour. Would that be consistent with what you pay?
I'm not sure we want to go in this direction yet. No, I think we should. I don't really want to do this.
Nobody should be a wagey if you can help it. You got to have some sort of side hustle going. You got to do something. The jobs that get demonetized as AI matures, it's not going to be working class jobs. It's going to be, with the exception of like trucking, it'll be white collar, finance, AI loan writing, that type of stuff. Working at Starbucks, your job is relatively secure, but I don't think you got to do something. You got to have a side hustle. You got to figure something out. The sooner you can make money that's not hourly for somebody else, the better. Just live in your car, shower at the gym, and try to snowball it and get to. But these things, once you start to get some traction, once you start to get a little traction, I think that's like the hardest part, is getting a little bit of traction. From there on out, if you're consistent and don't have a mental breakdown and don't get like a drinking problem or something, you'll be fine probably.
I quit school. I had like a bitterness about not finishing business administration program at Wagner College. So I went to go work for Bankers Life and Mutual. And I think literally I got a speech from the guy who's like, "Show me your friends, I'll show you your future." You know that guy?
No. Oh, the short,
What's his
angry
name?
Old guy?
Dan Pena. Bankers hired him. It was at Bryant College. And there was like a group of everybody that was there. And he tried to make an example out of me. And I was like, I made fun of his suit. I was like smart assing him. And he turned around and he goes, "You're not going to last one fucking day in this business." I got my Series 63 or whatever the I had to do to sell mutual life insurance. I learned the business. I passed the test. I started the day. I remember I started. It took me like 5 weeks. My first day at Bankers Life and Mutual, I was like looking at my job because I used to work in a call center when I was 15 for a mortgage business. I was looking at like lead sheets.
Yeah.
And I was like, I can't do this. And I got up and I quit in like 1 hour. And the guy so Dan Pena knew. Yeah. Honestly, I think AI is going to take it over. I really do. I think it's fat golf guys are going to take their dad's book of business over, and there's not going to be enough for you to edge in. All they're going to do is make you call your friends, family. I think they call it like your first 50. And I think they're going to fuck with you. I think it's a life, and it's not any good, and it's going to be automated so bad soon, and they're just going to keep the commissions. They're not going to keep commissioning people that high. I don't like insurance sales. I'd rather see you do pharmaceutical sales, if anything. People lose their jobs. They stop paying their bills. Credit cards go up. The money stops making sense. That's not essentially what we're waiting for, but that's what's going to have to happen to move the needle, right? People having to relocate, people retiring every day, just wanting to get the out of where they are. Inventory is still being so low. I can't see it happening. So home builders, they really could. Inventory being so low could push the price up. So I'm not going to necessarily run away from things. I think they're gonna make rates super attractive, and that will probably bring in some of you guys, bring me in. I get it. It'll happen. But just so you know, even when the shit hitteth the faneth, right? When stuff starts to hit real bad, my opinion, my crystal ball that no one has, no one knows, but if I had to guess, I would say you're going to see the real shit hit the fan in like January to April of next year. It takes 18 months till you start seeing like real unloading of things when banks are like, look, I got stiffed for $180,000 on this piece of shit. Give me 45 to 60 grand. Now, what happens with that? It's probably going to be regional, and it's probably going to be case by case, bank by bank. Because I remember I had 2 loans that I fucked up on. One did what's called a principal reduction, which basically said, look, we understand that the economy crashed. You owe us $300,000. Now you only owe us $200,000. That was called a loan modification. That was allowable by some banks, but it wasn't allowed by other ones. Tell me what you're going to do when people stop paying their bills with the mortgages. Tell me if there is a new fandangled thing. Are you going to have it like the old school where the agents will hit the streets and start to find investors on the street level? Or is BlackRock just going to buy all the dirty paper and we're just going to be behind the 8 ball and then they're going to sort it out?
Exciting for my portfolio. Banks, it used to be 10% capital requirement. You had to have 10% of the cash you said you had on hand, but now it's 0% capital requirement. So they can literally have empty tills if they wanted to.
What's that capital requirement?
Let's say a bank has $1 million in it total. They can lend out, if it's 10% capital requirement, that means they can lend out 900K of it and only have 100,000 cash. It's like,
I see.
Liquidity is really tight, so it's easy for something like that to happen. But to be not so alarmist, this has been happening in China for like 2 years, like bank runs. And China's still #1, so.
Do they just like disperse the crowd at some point?
Yeah, well, China has more tools to prevent panic and freakouts and chaos. They can just shut it down. They can just go on your phone and claim you have COVID, and then you just can't enter your apartment.
Really?
Yeah.
Is that like an actual tactic that they...
Yeah, if you're at a protest and they scan you with their Face ID, they'll claim you have COVID, and then you can't enter your door because there's an electronic smart lock on it.
What?
Yeah, you go home, you unlock your door with your phone, you see the red light, and then they come take you to a camp. It's crazy. China's nuts, bro. China's crazy.
Man, I got the car itch. I wonder if I could get a loan for $4 million. This motherfucker is probably they probably want $8 million for this now. They probably literally want $8 million for this. You know what's crazy? I'm seeing it every day because I'm addicted to searching for cars to buy. But the price of anything that you want has gone up like 10x.
Yeah.
In 3 years.
Yeah.
Because that's how you can tell what the real value of money is. This is a Michael Saylor point, but the things that regular people, like people who, just regular people, the stuff that they're buying is like fast food, Netflix, Amazon, made in China, digital. So it really costs nothing. It costs next to nothing to make. The profit margin is 95% or whatever. So they're buying stuff that's like the value of money doesn't affect it. Like you go out, I can go to Little Caesars right now and get a pizza for $5. What do you mean the economy's failing? On my Netflix. Yeah, sure, it went from $8 to $14, but still, it's cheap. I got my entertainment for cheap. And Amazon, you get whatever you want on Amazon. It says Chinese, like the brands are like Zhongfa, Qingdao. Like you get whatever,
Yeah, me and Ben were shopping for furniture. We could not find things that weren't Chinese.
Yeah, whatever you need, it's there. It's Chinese, and it's like as cheap as it was 3 years ago, almost, right?
Yeah.
But like, if you want to buy a house, or if you want to buy some traditional like safe investment vehicle like bonds or whatever, or if you want to buy a car that's like rare, they don't make it anymore. It's like in demand things that are unique, rare, art, jewelry, whatever. Yeah. Like I always said to myself I was going to get an AP brick. That's what I would get when I had like that kind of money, and now it's like $150,000.
How much was it when you thought that?
Like 50 probably. I mean, when it comes to, watch prices are deceiving too because they make millions. They make like a ton of these.
Yeah.
It shouldn't be anywhere near $150,000. It should be like 15,000 compared. Like, just doesn't whatever. They make 1 million Rolexes a year. They make 1 million of them. So you get a Rolex, you think it's this rare thing. They make 1 million of them. They make 1 million new ones in addition to all the old ones. It doesn't even make sense that watch prices have gone up crazy bonkers, but they're not making 1 million new Ferrari F50s a year. So like you want to know how the economy is actually doing. It's value doubled since 19.
But even Netflix going from $8 to $14, that's like crazy inflation too. And everyone knows the quality's gone down while the price has gone up.
And those CPI items too, because they're in that basket of stuff that gets evaluated or gets that's used to quantify how well or poorly the economy's doing. It gets gamified.
Yeah.
Like those are the items that are like specifically like they manipulate the prices of those items to make them artificially cheap.
One of the items was like steak in the CPI, like the basket of items that calculate CPI. But then they downgraded the cut of meat and made the 8-ounce steak to keep the CPI data suppressed. So it's like going from like sirloin to like compressed ground beef patty.
Right.
8 ounces, and there's still inflation.
Oh, I love doing this.
Oh, wait, we won.
What do we win?
$2.
Let's go.
Got the money back.
All right, I'm gonna go cash that one in. I'll be right back.
Yeah. We got the pinball.
You got your coin?
Your ball numbers. I wonder what my ball numbers are.
Use the silver dollar.
Use the silver dollar,
Perfect.
Julian. It's the lucky silver dollar.
Yeah, it's my lucky silver. It's scratching off the like actual ticket.
I got blood on my hand. I gotta wash it.
Jet, why do you like silver more than gold or platinum? This is not financial advice. I like silver because it's suppressed to a rate where it's not worth recycling and harvesting once it's thrown out. So there's silver in all electronics, circuit boards and stuff, but the current price of whatever an ounce is not worth going in and digging through the trash to go get it, when in reality, if we weren't in a fiat monetary system, it would be very worth to go reclaim that precious silver nugget. Okay, so
We got to get our silver nuggets.
it's the natural ratio of 9-to-1 or 10-to-1 or whatever it is of how much more frequent silver is than gold naturally has been artificially shifted. How we're harvesting it and how we're treating it is making it, we're throwing it away. There's silver in landfills that will never come back. It's rare. It's a very small market. It's at the bottom of the liquidity pyramid, which will mathematically eventually come tumbling down. The whole price discovery mechanism of gold, silver, any precious metal is deemed by paper contracts, not even the physical metal. The physical metal has no relation to what the price of gold or silver is. So when there is a crisis, everyone will take delivery. Only 0.5% of people holding paper contracts will successfully get delivery. And then the paper price and the physical price are going to divulge anywhere from 80 to 200 times. So that's why I think I'm going to 80x on my investment. This is not financial advice. Okay, next, Sam and Jet's opinion on investing in gold right now.
Dude, I'm not going to the pawn shop and getting gold. I just am too lazy. I'd rather go to the GMC dealership and get a Denali HD.
You could just stack
That's
up
my
on the dollars.
that's my gold. Is Sierra Denali's 2500s and Raptor V8 Gen 3. Thank you, Ish. I'll see you tomorrow.
Peace. Take it easy, bro. You already know my opinion. I think if you're gonna go metals, get silver though. Poor man's gold. And the problem is, if I get silver, I would need to store 10 kilograms of silver, and I need it physical because otherwise I need to pay VAT on it.
Get
I think it's called in
Bitcoin.
English. Bitcoin is free to store, but you could stop being a pussy and get a safe and a camera and a gun and a landmine and a sword. You can store it. I mean, the same thing with Bitcoin. If you want to store your Bitcoin, you got to take that seriously too.
Chris Dwayne, aka Silver Shield, he has these two really long videos. They're like 8 hours a piece. They're only on BitChute. See, I'm drawing straws here. Like it's getting pretty scant. I'm not gonna recommend you go to BitChute, but he basically does like a recap of all world history. He has a really expansive video where he covers everything that's ever happened in a non-scholastic Henry Ford Rockefeller fueled public school way. I used to really look up to him